Hey everyone, welcome back to the Reality Wind Down, a podcast where we break down all the latest Bravo TV drama. I'm Chase.
I'm Cassidy.
And we have a lot to talk about today.
We are very excited. We have so much. Atlanta came back.
Atlanta premiere.
Potomac finale.
Finales. And then we have another good episode of Salt Lake City. We have a game we're going to play.
Of course we have a game.
Of course. Do you want to start with hot takes?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I think the biggest thing that I'm going to say is I'm thrilled that Jax is being fired.
Bye.
What?
Bye. As Lisa Vanderpump's good friend Lance Bass would say, bye, bye, bye. I think we are ready.
God.
We are so ready to see Jax gone.
So happy you brought your vocals to the podcast finally.
I mean, it's about time. I mean, the world needed to hear this.
I think it was reserved just for Jax. You brought it out. We're happy. You're joyous.
And I feel like people are like, but what about Brittany? Brittany is just an innocent. No, she married Jax.
She's not innocent. She knew what she was getting into. She moved from Kentucky after they met on Instagram. Yeah. Girl was coming to be on reality show.
100%. Maybe she was running from her mom's white lipstick, but she needed to get away from Kentucky.
From Versailles?
From Versailles. From the beautiful palace of Versailles.
Or they say Versailles?
Versailles, yeah.
Versailles.
I love that we said Versailles with a Kentucky accent, thinking that we were being shady.
No, but actually we were being classy.
We were being better than the way they say it. Oh my god, we're terrible.
I just think it was needed. It was time. I think the entire Bravoverse was waiting for this news to come out.
Well, I think we've been waiting ever since Jax was going to take that hockey social media job that never came through. Shocking. But
he's gonna be social media manager for a hockey team in Florida.
100%.
What could go wrong?
What could ever go wrong with Jason Couchy running your social? But yeah, bye Jax, bye Brittany. We will not miss you.
But
I feel like the whole future of Vanderpump Rules in general is up in the air now.
So I did see something where Jax, I don't know the publication, I'm very sorry, but Jax said pretty much everyone else besides him are coming back. Well, not Stassi or Katie, obviously that's old news, but Lala, the Toms,
But are you
Ariana.
excited to watch Vanderpump Babies?
I'm really not.
Thanks.
But
Same.
I'm just still happy that Jax is fired, whether I watch it or not, and we probably will.
Yeah, well, 100%.
But it will definitely be a hate watch. It was kind of a hate watch last season.
Yeah, it was rough last season.
Yeah.
Our next hot take is actually an update into the Bronwyn coming out as a lesbian story last week. She actually was spotted out with her girlfriend on TMZ. I think it was TMZ. I sent it to you.
Yeah, they were making out.
Which I feel like I'm glad that she's out and living her truth now, but it just seems like a little soon to do to Sean.
I agree, and it's weird because, as she said in this week's episode and last week's episode, they're not really in the best place right now.
Yeah,
the quarantine really showed that their marriage is not great. But when she came out in an article, she immediately said, oh, we're going to stay together in this marriage. We're not divorced, and he fully supports me.
Right.
And that's all great, because they definitely want to co-parent. They have young children. Yeah, I'm all for that. But it's interesting to see her out making out with her girlfriend. I'm where is Sean in all this?
Being so out about who she's with.
Yeah, and also not even just being so out about it.
Yeah.
It's that I hope he's also getting to go out and meet people, because clearly they're only going to get the intimacy. Am I a sex therapist now?
Who are you? Dr. Drew, come through.
Yeah. Anyways, he's going to get it. He needs to get his intimacy somewhere else, as she is right now.
I agree. I think if they're choosing to maybe not divorce, but split, they need to not be in the same household, because he needs to be able to move on, because he's allowing her to move on so well.
I just wonder if they can't get out of that rental.
Ooh.
Their lease isn't up,
I know. But from that, I feel like talking about her being out making out with her new girl, what do you think about Erica? Because obviously there's an update with Erica and Tom this week. He has said he doesn't want to pay for her legal fees, and he doesn't want to pay a monthly fee to her. How would you feel if you saw Erica out making out with another man after just filing for divorce from Tom?
I think since they're actually getting divorced, it's different.
Right.
They're splitting, so Erica can go do that. And I think the bigger thing from the update from Tom, not wanting to pay Erica, is it support?
Yeah, a monthly spousal support, and he doesn't want to pay her legal fees.
And my thought is, With what money?
Because there ain't no cashish.
There is no cash. We found that out with our last week's breaking news.
Yeah.
Is they're being sued because they're stealing money because they have none. So I feel like, is this just another play that he's like, well, I can't pay Erica because we can't do this, but
he
really
said I
they're
don't
hiding
want
the
to. It
funds,
wasn't even I
allegedly.
can't. I feel like, yeah, the funds are being hid and it's very shady.
Poor Mikey. That's what I just keep saying.
You stand Mike. He won't be getting us $40,000 a month.
Yeah. I mean, what is he going to do?
I don't know.
That's a big gig. He's always in that closet. She keeps him there.
Oh my god, the shade. Okay, well, that's all of our hot takes this week. I think that it's time to move on to our game.
Wait, hold on. Before we start our game, I do have another update. So I want to bring up the story I had last week about Nana at the Met Gala. She decided to give me some more information.
Okay.
She wanted you to know that she reached over because it looked like a trash bag dress. She wanted to confirm it was a trash bag dress.
And was it a trash bag dress?
It was.
It was until she leaned over with her nail and ripped it in half.
But, so she had apparently been doing this various times throughout the tour.
I thought you were going to say in museums all over the country. She's banned from every museum. She's been going around touching everything. Like the Mona Lisa touched. Like
Just at this tactile exhibit. Well, she thought it was tactile exhibit. It's not. So we heard sirens or whatever going off various times throughout our tour. And we weren't always with her. We were like walking out of the rooms. Well, she even told me, she kept being like, who keeps setting off these alarms?
Stop,
She was like getting annoyed. She was like, I don't understand why these alarms keep going off. It's very annoying.
Touching every dress. What dumbass is touching of these dresses?
She was like, I thought some person was just walking around setting off the alarms. I was like, and she was like, it was me. When they came up to me, I realized it was me. And I was like, that's when she denied it, of course. But
we stand Nana in this house. We need shirts. # we stand Nana.
I just know she's touching dresses, but doesn't think the alarms are for her.
I mean, I live for that kind of oblivion. I'm like, I love that she was just like, what? No, not me. Amazing.
Little did she know.
Oh my god. Okay.
Now we can head into our game.
Game
time.
All right, what game are we playing this week, Chase?
Today we are going to be playing a Housewives insult game.
Okay.
So we're going to be matching the Housewives with their insult.
I'm just reading the ones that I'm going to be reading to you for the first time, and I am already obsessed with this game.
Okay, so rules of the game.
Yes.
1 point for the insult and 1 point for who is the insult being directed towards.
Okay.
Or directed to.
Okay.
Since we've been doing 1 hint per game with our other games, we'll just go ahead and do that here. We'll kind of just keep that a running roll.
Keep that our standing rules.
Yeah, standing roll. I will start. Who is Adrienne Maloof in this world?
Yolanda Foster Hadid.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, wait, now I have to... It was about Adrienne Maloof. Do I get
yeah. I was like, who did she say it to?
Wait, did she?
Guys, okay.
Maloof.
I have it right in front of me. I'm like, wait, Cassidy, who did she say it to?
Okay, this one actually is going to give away who it's about too. So we won't do that extra point for this.
For the first
round. Okay. I was awoken in the middle of the night by 2 male voices. One was Luann's.
Was this Heather?
Yes, already back on my better start for this game.
Was it Sonia?
No, is that like -2?
Okay, who was it?
It was Carol.
Carol.
You know, whenever like a witty thing is being said on New York, it's probably Carol because she brings out her writer girl vibe and she...
I read something one time that...
You read?
I read.
Oh.
Not Carol's book, but I did read something.
Did you read Leggy Blonde?
Is that her book?
No, that was Aviva's book. It was really called Leggy Blonde, I swear.
Oh my god, did she have a ghostwriter? I mean, we know she did.
Duh.
But speaking of ghostwriters, people said that she had her like funny quips on the show pre-written for her.
Stop.
Yeah.
Where'd you read that?
I don't know.
Did Sheree Whitfield carry that bone to you? Oh my god, that's deep.
It's one of those things that I was like, I remember reading and it just came back.
That's a deep cut. Yeah. All right, 1-0, Cassidy.
You're psychotic, Jesus Jugs.
I watched this episode today, so this like, came through very good for me. Tamara Judge said it to Alexis Bellino.
Correct.
Not as good as Kentucky Fried Titties, so I hope that's not on here. Is that on here?
No.
It's not on mine. Okay, good. Next, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
And you came in your Herman Munster shoes.
Luann de Lesseps to Alex McCord.
Yes, ma'am.
That one I will never be able to forget. I feel like because we quote that
All the
probably once a
time.
week. So.
That and even Louis Vuitton makes mistakes.
Yes.
We quote all the time.
Okay. You have no idea what she's done to me.
You have no idea what she's done to me. That is so broad.
That is very broad.
You have no, but I feel like I remember this. Okay.
I'll try to reenact for it. You have no idea what you've done to me!
You have no idea what she's done to me.
Think of my emotions. If you're watching us on YouTube, you'll see my emotions. Think of what you've done to me!
Okay, I'm going to call in my hint right now.
Okay.
I'm going to be confident about the rest of the time.
The line taken for the viral cat meme.
Oh, Taylor. See, you should have given me a little bit more of a country vibe, an Oklahoma on her ass
But if you
vibe.
think I was like, like reaching, pointing at the cat.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. Anyways, point.
Okay, so you get 1 point for Taylor, but who was it directed to?
Was it directed at Brandy Glanville?
No, Camille.
Uh,
That one is hard because like we've seen that meme so much and you never see the person she's talking to because it's always like her yelling at the cat.
It's crazy that Camille used to be a cat. All right, next. I don't want any hamster-faced host trying to mess with my baby.
I have two options. I feel like it's...
How many hamster-faced hosts are there?
But you're talking about baby and I'm thinking of Phaedra.
Yeah.
Was it Phaedra?
No.
Was it Kenya?
No. Oh, yes, but I got that to your guess. No, wrong franchise. It's Potomac. Ashley says it about Candace.
Oh, I swear it was like Phaedra because...
It doesn't matter what you swear, it was wrong. I loved your confidence. I really thought you were going to get it because you came through so strong.
So who was she saying that to?
Candace.
You're right. That does give it away. Oh, shit.
Shade.
Okay, on to the next.
Yes.
You can't be a housewife because you don't have a husband.
You can't have a housewife because you don't have it. Does Phaedra say that about Kenya?
Yes.
Is that why it came to your mind? Because it was
No,
next on your
I hadn't
paper?
even read that yet.
Oh my god.
That is weird.
Thanks, though. I appreciate it. Okay. Is this how your mother yells at you? I'm gonna do it even better. Is this how your mother yells at you? And the way I just did it, like, gave it away.
Hint.
She wears pink.
Oh, is it Cameron Westcott to Deandra?
Yeah.
Yes!
I don't give a dog's rip. Okay, both of our hints are used up now.
Okay. I'm happy I did that one because it actually ended up working out.
I know.
I was really worried. Okay. You bald-headed scallywag.
I feel like this just happened on Potomac.
No. Ooh, I'm not going to say that.
It didn't just happen on Potomac. Michael Darby did call Chris bald-headed, but it wasn't that.
Oh, he did. So that was good thinking.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Marlo.
I should have known
to
that.
Cynthia.
Now I can see her saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I should have known that. Okay. No matter how many Chanels you borrow, you will never be a lady.
Ooh. Okay. I don't think I know this one. I feel like
love the
I have
confidence.
to think about it, but I just know we don't have time for the thinking.
Okay.
It might take me a while, so I'm just gonna
You gotta let it
call
go.
it. I'm gonna let it go.
Okay, Faye Resnick says it to Brandy on Beverly Hills.
Okay. So
Okay,
we got
so that
two
was a harder
friends
one.
of, so those were the two hard ones.
Okay.
You're both white trash, quite frankly.
Aviva says it to Ramona and Sonia.
Ooh!
So because I got Ramona and Sonia, do I get 2 points?
No.
I think I do.
We'll let our producer decide whenever he counts up.
He kind of shook his head up and down, so I'm going to say 2 points.
God. Okay.
Okay, put an easy pass on that vagina with your Holland tunnel.
It's to Sonia,
Uh-huh.
but I'm trying to remember who said it. Was it Ramona?
No, it was Dorinda.
Dorinda, yes! So do I get 1 point for that?
Yeah, you get one.
I get one.
Yeah.
Okay. You're a clown that comes into everyone's paid event and tries to tear it down.
You're a clown that comes into everyone's paid event and tries to tear it down? At least I just quoted it back.
The hint on this is so funny. I wish I could give it to you.
You should just give it to me anyway.
It's
Come
so
on, Chase,
funny.
just give it to me anyway.
No. Okay, I'll give you the response. It's not really a hint, but kind of.
Okay.
No, that's the clown.
I don't know. I'm thinking about, and I know this is so off, I'm thinking about when Bethany was at event and there was a clown there that was trying to like make them like get naked and weird. Do you remember that?
No.
It was like Art like Basel in Miami. Am I so off?
You were so off.
Okay, just tell me.
Whenever Karen and Giselle were at that lunch and there was that mime just standing behind the table.
When they were about to go away.
Because, like, the line, like, the response is, no, that's the clown. And she, like, points to the mime in the background and he's just, like, miming by a tree.
I feel like I didn't watch those episodes enough. I feel like I would have never gotten that one, which is a shame. Okay. I mean, you know this one. Keep eating. Keep eating.
It is Kelly Dodd to Shannon Bedore.
Yes.
Another quote that we say all the time.
It was Satan to Shannon Bedore. You got it right.
It's another one we literally just walk around and be like,
yeah,
stop eating, bitch.
This isn't even my plate. That's like, I feel like we've quoted it on this podcast before,
probably.
like multiple times.
Okay, your last one. This is the girl obsessed with me. I don't know if she wants to be me or skin me and wear me like last year's Versace.
Oh my god, I cannot believe how bad I'm doing at this. I should not have drank so much before this. I don't know if she wants to be me or skin me and wear me like last year's Versace. Is it New Jersey? It is?
I'm not doing
You
anything.
shook your head.
No, I was just enjoying your thought process.
Was it Margaret to Danielle Staub?
You got Danielle Staub,
Who
but
said it?
it was Dina Manzo.
I
Very
can see her
early
saying
on
that
Jersey. Very early on Jersey.
now. All right, this last one for you is a
Okay.
deep cut, okay?
Oh, no.
No, I'm not going to do it in the voice. She's a big unit.
It's from Auckland.
Okay, you don't get a point for that.
I know. Oh, God. It's the lady that used to do, like, where they dropped in a hole.
Weakest link.
Weakest link.
Yeah.
To...
She's a big unit.
I hate that I don't remember their names.
Do you want to hear what it was?
I do.
It was Louise about Angela on Auckland.
Okay.
Why did I just say Auckland? Who am I?
Auckland.
Auckland.
So the official score, 9 Cassidy, 8 me.
I'm back on my winning streak. Let's do this.
But there is something I did win this week. Do you remember what that is? It's a nice
No.
crisp $10 bill.
I don't remember. I don't have cash.
Oh, you
What
don't?
is
Good
cash?
thing you know my Venmo.
Good thing I accept Venmo, PayPal, direct deposit,
Cash App.
Cash App,
Apple Pay.
Apple Pay, all of the possible
I'll even
Facebook payments.
I'll even do, what is the Chase one? Just send it right into my
Chase
account.
mobile payment.
Yeah, I'll take that.
And IOU. Do you accept that?
Zelle.
Zelle
I'll keep
Pay.
going. I accept all form of payments because we're about to get into Salt Lake City. And last week's episode, Cassidy believed that Meredith was going to call out Jen about the whole...
What did you think the bet was about?
I know that I won, but I thought the bet was about Meredith yelling at Jen about Brooks.
Okay, if you can't tell me what the actual bet is about, I'm not paying you.
Yes, you are.
You have
because I
10
won.
seconds.
I mean, that didn't
10.
happen.
9.
It was Meredith and
8.
Jen, right?
7. 6. 5.
Guys,
4.
Nope.
3.
I already sent you my Zelle account.
2. 1. That is not at all what our bet was about, and I'm so happy that you clearly don't listen back to our podcast, because the bet was about whether or not Meredith was going to reveal to the table at the Met Gala lunch that her and Seth were separated. You were like, I just like
I
spit everywhere.
1000%
Do you not
thought-
remember making that
no.
bet?
And I've listened to our podcast 4 times. That's worse.
Oh my god. I cannot believe that I no longer owe you $10.
I do still get $10, guys, please.
No, we're going to put up a poll and you guys vote whether or not I pay Chase's $10 at Reality Wine Down on Instagram.
I mean, technically, I won my bet in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, that was a bet. I don't know who you made that. That must have been Chastity, your other host, because I did not make that bet with you. Okay. All right.
Okay.
If we're going to deep dive
We're
into
gonna-
Salt Lake City now, because I'm not paying you your $10, the only thing we really need to talk about in my mind this week on Salt Lake City is our Lord and Savior, King Valter.
I agree with you. That was the best part of the episode. I mean, we rewound it 3 times.
And we were like pumping out memes immediately about Valter.
It was too good to resist. He literally was standing behind her and had the most insane face on. And she was like not in front
You're
of
gonna
Walter.
upset Valter, and this is whenever Jen and Mary were arguing. They were getting into a bit of a beef because they were talking about how she really felt like she deserved an apology from Jen, and Mary was saying, well, I would never say the things that come out of your mouth about someone else. But, I mean, what? That she's married her grandpa? That she banged her grandpa?
Yeah.
Like, it's true.
Yeah.
What is she saying that's so offensive?
Well, Jen's like, oh, well, everyone else is thinking it.
Yeah.
And Mary's like, no.
I get, like, Jen's delivery isn't great most of the
No.
time, but, like, did she lie?
But I will say most of the girls are on Mary's side.
Which is wild but I do feel like Mary's sitting there and Heather is like, I can be kind of friends with both. And Mary's calling her two-faced. She's like, no, Heather, you're being two-faced.
Yeah, because actually right before that, Jen like stormed out, remember?
Yeah, she stormed out.
And Heather like went after her and was
Yeah.
like, no, you need to come in. This whole lunch is for us to be talking through our issues.
Also, you forgot your
doing
Louis
that.
Vuitton AirPods inside. You forgot all your good gifts. Like, you need to get back in and at least get those.
I love me a notebook. I was like,
mean-
give me that monogram notebook.
Well,
Like,
Chase will take the notebook. I'll take the Louis Vuitton AirPods. If you're listening, Mary.
so like then that's why I think Mary started getting mad at Heather, because Heather went after Jen. So
Right.
it's kind of like, oh, well, you're on Jen's side, even though that's not the case.
Yeah.
We see in this episode a lot that Heather does
And I feel like that's kind of like
sit on the fence of between two girls. Like, it's hard for her to pick a side.
Heather's very much like, I feel like she just wants to be a good friend to everybody.
Yeah.
Which is difficult to do whenever you have people like Jen and people like Mary that are so different. Because Mary, during this lunch, even makes a comment about how if there are like black people hanging outside of 7-Eleven, I won't go in. Which I don't know if Mary realizes that she is also black.
And,
like,
well, she's
saying
also
things like
talking
that
down-
is just insane anyways.
Well, she's also talking down to Jen's family.
Well, it's Jen's family. And it's also Mary's family.
Yeah.
Mary's sitting there saying these things basically about herself. And, of course, and Jen is the only one that's, I think, reasonable between these two. That is like, are you kidding me? You're talking about my husband. You're talking about my sons. This is so unacceptable on so many levels that she's talking like this.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that pretty much wraps up, I think, most of the lunch.
Yeah, and that's where we picked up the episode, was right into that lunch.
Right.
It said to be continued last week.
Exactly.
And then we do like a cute little Heather scene with her daughters. And the daughters are like, oh, we skipped church last week and the week before. Let's skip church again this week.
I feel like that's how everyone that eventually stops going to church, because they're literally like, oh, well, we missed for 1 week, we missed for 2 weeks, we missed for 3 weeks. I haven't been in 10 years.
I was like kind of kicked out of my Sunday school class.
Oh God, what did you do?
I used to scream when like my mom would drop me off, because I was just like, no, I don't want to be here. Done with this place. And then one day my mom literally was like, I'm leaving you here, and like walked away. And I threw a Bible like across the hallway. And my teacher was like, I can't handle you.
I cannot believe that you were 17 when you were doing all of this too.
Mom, no!
This was last weekend.
And I stopped going to church last weekend because of it.
It's very new. It's very fresh. It stings.
Little old 7-year-old me was like, I'm out of here. And then we stopped going.
Oh my God.
My mom was embarrassed.
That is actually insane. Why am I not surprised? Okay, so next we head to Meredith is going to the airport, and she picks up Seth from his trip from Canton or Akron, wherever he was in Ohio. And I love that he gets in and he's like, why are you picking me up? Why are you here? Like, clearly she's getting there and picking him up for the show.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't just be like, babe, it's nice to see you. He's like, why are you here?
Yeah, he has to call her out.
Yeah, it's like,
so it really starts the trip off right.
You can see, like, and I'm not defending the way, because I do think she speaks to him kind of poor, but I do think Seth is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
And he was nonstop about trying to get her to move to, like, Canton, Ohio, or Akron, Ohio. He even had, like, a magazine in his lap that said, like, move to Canton or what it was.
Yeah, he was trying to sell her on it.
Yeah, I was like, this is too much.
No,
this
it's too
is
much. And she's like, I've moved around every couple of years for you.
Yeah, we've been in Toronto. We've been in tons of different places.
Mm-hmm. All for his job. And
Yeah.
now she's like, here I am in Salt Lake City. This is where my home base is.
Right.
I mean, she's on a reality show. She can't move already.
Right.
So it's like all of her stuff is in Salt Lake. It's his turn to make the sacrifice.
Exactly.
It seems like she's on the up and up. Like, you kind of have to, like, step back. She's always stepped back for you.
I
and
mean,
like,
I don't think that I would watch Meredith go to Real Housewives of Akron.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be for me. I mean,
I'm like trying to think of like straight to WE TV.
Ooh, not We Too, not Love After Lockup. Ooh, man.
Not that those shows aren't good, but
I mean,
we're not going to see Meredith there, I don't think, in Akron.
No,
Ohio.
I completely agree. And then we kind of cut to Mary and Robert Sr. hanging out at their house. Their housekeeper that's dressed like a nurse, which I assume is to look after Robert Sr. She is a housekeeper slash nurse for Robert.
It was just a scene kind of for Mary to tell her husband,
like, hey, Jen's calling me a grandpa effer. And, like, he's like, oh, no, like, can't be talking like that. And I'm like, once again, you were her grandfather. And then we cut to Jen, and she's talking to her husband. She's FaceTiming Coach Shaw.
She's getting one of her Shaw pep talks.
Yes, getting one of her Shaw pep talks from her husband. And he's just really backing her up with the fight. So I guess really what was happening is Mary was talking to her husband, Jen's talking to her husband, and we're seeing the sides of the story they're telling to them and the reaction they're getting from their husband.
Yes, and their interpretation of what happened.
And I would much rather be on the phone with Sharif at that moment. He was giving all the right information. He was saying, you can't really mess with people like that. No. Like, don't get involved. Don't stoop down to their level.
You're not going to win.
Exactly. And then we get to Whitney doing karate with her brother and that white belt. Level 1, rocking doing great.
It. Weird slow-mos, I would say.
There was some strange slow-mos going down, like of her and her brother flipping each other over.
Wrestling.
But it is Utah. Or at least what the media and Bravo producers being a little bit shady, portraying what Utah is in the mind to the rest of the country.
Yes. So the sweet part about after they do the slow-mo wrestling is they bring up Daddy Steve.
Daddy Steve.
Daddy Steve's going to rehab. He's getting all of his stuff in check.
Him and his wig are headed to rehab.
Yeah, Daddy Steve in that wig.
And I truly wish him the best because I do think Daddy Steve is a good guy.
He is.
And
I agree. And it shows that Whitney has a good heart, and I like that for her.
I love that if you're watching on YouTube, Chase said, he has a good heart, unless you guys didn't know where the heart was. He pointed straight at his heart.
There are some trivia things that I know. Your heart is in your chest.
Then we had to Lisa's son Henry's 8th birthday.
Yeah, it was a blowout. I mean, there were some kids dancing. I love a bowling party.
What did it say? Fresh Wolf. So we actually Googled the company because on the cake said Fresh Wolf. And I think you said immediately, this has to be one of Lisa's brands because it was a picture of a wolf. And we're like, what could this mean?
Yeah, Lisa's on the show to brand her company.
She really is.
It's a weird choice for a first season housewife to come right in and brand so hard.
But that's
usually 2 or 3.
But I respect because what if Salt Lake, and I'm not saying it is at all, fingerinos crossed, like all of the above, what if it had been a one and done type season? Like she is on there to pitch, brand. I think Bethany Frankel would respect it.
You're not wrong. Yeah. I'll give her that. But when you're getting to know a housewife and they're throwing brands at you, I don't think... I just naturally don't like them as much.
You're telling me that you don't want to purchase from our 8-year-old son Henry's Fresh Wolf grooming company? Because all 8-year-olds need to groom.
No, I would pick Daddy Steve's company over that.
I mean, after Daddy Steve's hair, absolutely. I don't blame you.
Hey, that's style.
Daddy Steve's hair care. Oh, give me more.
No, that's good.
Yeah, and then Meredith and Seth on a much... darker note.
I was like, we get
much darker.
If we were up, we're gonna bring you back down.
We head into a very like soap opera a la Lifetime movie-esque scene in Meredith's bedroom, and she's like, I just think you should go. And then he's like, well, I already had my bags packed on the bed. Like, I clearly was headed out anyway.
And did you count the multiple angles they got this fight from? There was like one down low in a corner, one up high in a corner, one from the doorway, one around the bed. I was like, how many times?
The cameraman in the top corner of the room, like crouched up at the very top filming.
He's like, I'm gonna leave you, and the cameraman's like, oh, this is awkward.
Hold on, wait, don't leave. I need to get a white lens angle on that shot of you leaving.
Hold on, I gotta run to the doorway. Cry one more tear again.
Oh my god.
And it was pretty much him being like, I'm gonna give you some time.
Yeah, she said good. I think
she said good. Yeah. And then he kind of starts fake crying. I didn't see a tear.
Yeah, like, and I do feel like they were going through a tough time in their marriage, but I don't know. Do you think that Meredith was maybe like fishing for a storyline here a little bit? Because it just seems so contrived.
You know how we always say vow renewals are like the kiss of death on Bravo? I feel like another running theme is that some housewives come on the show to get a divorce.
Yeah. Because
they need, or their husbands push them on the show to get a divorce.
But
I don't think that's
his case. Like fast forward in life, but we do creep on their Instas. And every time Meredith posts a picture with Seth, because spoiler alert, I'm saying it 3 times if people don't want to know, they're still together. And she posts pictures, and she won't tag him because he has an Instagram. So, like, she'll post a picture of them at the beach, and then over his face, she'll do, like, 5 separate tags and be like, don't even try it. He's taken. Like, it's like, girl, no one's hunting down Seth to go to Akron, Ohio. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's not a hot commodity.
I don't know. You laughed like Michael Darby there. Are you interested in going after Seth?
No, and I hate that you just said that. That makes me feel very sad.
We will be getting to Potomac a little bit later, so stay tuned if you're a Potomac fan. And then we kind of end the episode. Heather and Mary are meeting up to have dinner, and Mary sits down, and Heather had been there for a bit, so I guess she had ordered like Perrier for the table. And the lady comes to bring the water, and she sets it down, and I just feel like it's another example of Mary being just like kind of crap to people that are waiting on her. She turned around immediately and she's like, no, I don't drink sparkling. It wasn't even like a, hey, can I please get like a still water? I don't really like to drink sparkling water. She yelled at the waitress, it hurts your ovaries. Like, girl, are you trying to get a baby by granddaddy? Like, what?
Yeah, I mean...
Did you black out there?
No, I was just thinking, I was like, I personally hate sparkling water, too.
I also hate
So I would have been
sparkling-
like, give me some still, please.
See, that's why I feel like I vibed with that so much, because I also hate sparkling water, and there's a way to handle it if someone already sat down and ordered sparkling. You say, hi, can I please get tap by? Like, it's not, like, rude.
No, I would have just thrown it on the ground. Just
You would have
kidding.
thrown
I
it
would've
right back in her face.
I would have literally drank it anyway and be like, thank you so much.
Yeah, I know, right?
I appreciate it.
I love this.
Yeah.
But she had no issue drinking all the bubbles that were in her champagne. Her
No.
20-year-old champagne that 500, however many people
I think
died
it was
for.
5,900 people died that year.
Not
and they made
5,900.
Yeah, and they made the best grapes.
Oh my god.
That is the scene, though, where we do get Heather's explanation about she can't really pick sides and she doesn't want to pick sides. She wants to be there for both people. And I just don't think it works that way.
No, I agree.
No one's going to be happy. I mean, the fight with Meredith and Jen was just that. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Sorry, I'm like, I thought I had more notes written down on this, but I flipped my page and it's completely blank. Like,
So you're just going off.
like,
You're just going.
I literally thought that I had written something about that situation with Heather, but
I mean,
apparently I didn't. I was so captivated.
Yeah, that was really it. It was just Heather kind of making that statement, and I just don't think that's ever gonna work out.
I agree.
You always kind of have to be on someone's side. Someone's wrong.
I agree.
So I think the episode started at an A+ with Valter. It was like an okay one.
With Valter. Yeah, I would give it probably... It's still up there for me. Like a 7.
I mean, I still laugh. I'm still interested in them. Okay, 7 with Valter, but what would you give it if Valter wasn't in the episode?
I do not even want to put that in my mind without Valter. I mean, I think I would give it a 4 without my man Valter.
Oh my god,
No,
I think
I'm just
Valter...
kidding, like a 6. He bumped it up 1 point. I can't give Valter that much credit.
I mean, we did rewatch it 3 times.
I mean, you say 3. Like, I feel like that's like a little bit too little. Like, we watched it a few more times.
I didn't want to give everything away.
Shout out to my man Volts.
We're going to head over to the premiere episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yes, let's
so happy.
do it.
Atlanta is back. It's one of our favorites. I think you
Before
agree
we
with
dive
that.
into this, I have to ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you miss Nene?
Not so far.
No?
I don't know if I eventually will, but this opening episode, I think it was such a different Atlanta than we've ever seen. Different housewives than we have ever seen.
I feel like Nene's so good for just giving us like loads of memes. Like we love Nene for memes.
She's very like
Why have
her
we never
reactions
called
are
her
great.
Mimi? She gives us the best memes. I don't know how.
Because the one and only Mariah Carey already has that name, and you can't take that from her.
I don't want to disrespect the queen. Our producer might chop my head off.
I mean, have you listened to "Oh Santa"? It's the #1 Christmas song this year.
Have you streamed "Oh Santa" today?
Yeah, everyone stream "Oh Santa."
Stream "Oh Santa" by Mariah Carey. And
she needs all of our press.
Our producer will send you $1 on Venmo.
No, he won't. He will not.
If you can't tell, his boyfriend's our producer, and he's cutting off the $1. But I thought it would be great if you did.
No.
Okay. So we definitely get a different vibe from Atlanta the way it starts off this season. We don't get taglines. We have a black background, and all of the different housewives are talking. And it's June. It's right after the Breonna Taylor murder. It's right after the George Floyd murder. And it flashes one of the people that's talking is Candy, and she says we're considered criminals automatically because we're black.
Yep.
And they really go into all the racial injustice that's happening.
Yeah, we see Portia. She's actually at a march, a protest.
She's out in the field.
And she's peacefully protesting. Yeah. And it's her camera footage. And it's showing how the police are shooting tear gas at the crowd. Yeah. Portia's running in the video.
Her and Dennis are running.
They're running away because tear gas is getting in their eyes. It really reminds us something that happened not too long ago. Something huge deal.
Something that's happened this year.
This year. Yeah, in the middle of COVID, and they mentioned that. So these are COVID interviews as well. It's their first interviews in COVID.
This is the first season we're getting that's completely in COVID times, start to finish.
And they say that it's like, yeah, we're staying home, we're quarantining, but this is too big of a deal to stay silent.
100%.
We can't stop being silent anymore. And I think that's something where a lot of our housewives don't get into stuff like that normally on the shows.
Right.
And this one was too big to ignore, too big of a moment in history to just let go in this. They needed to stand up. Portia did it. And it's funny because they even kind of do a flashback of Portia doing the whole...
the Underground Railroad where the train is.
Like that whole thing. And it's just shown the growth that Portia has done.
It's showing how involved she truly is with the Black Lives Matter movement now.
And I just think it was a different opening, but a very important opening. A very
powerful
opening. Yeah. And it was cool to see that.
Yeah, 100%. Cool. To completely shift gears, we head to COVID. We're at Lake Bailey.
Yeah.
And there are 4 people at Lake Bailey. There is Marlo, Cynthia, Candy, and Cynthia's titty.
Titty Scent.
Titty Scent. Oh my
The honorary guest, Titty Scent.
And I mean, we did not see Titty Scent one time. We did not see Titty Scent 2 times. We saw Titty Scent come out 3 or 4 times.
And well, some of those times where Cynthia was just walking and Titty Scent was just out and proud.
I don't even think she was wearing a top. I think she put on like a little caftan stitch, opened it up, and tied like a little rope around. And I love that Cynthia could be walking around. Like, I'm just saying, if my boob was out, I think I could feel it. She was just like waltzing around like, yes, come through.
She was free.
It was amazing.
She's clearly like used to being in quarantine, like no one around.
Yeah, like, no one but Mike.
I feel like I related to in this episode. They kind of keep mentioning like the COVID-15, you know, like everyone gained that 15 pounds. And I was like, they kept talking about it as I'm like eating my 3rd burrito of the day.
We're all like, what? Can't relate. Oh God, yeah, we can't relate.
It really triggered me, but it was funny. So they are having this lunch in Cynthia's driveway.
And that's when Marlo coins, they're talking about everything Portia's doing with her activism. And she says, Portia Luther King.
Yeah, I love that.
Which was amazing. I feel like
because she was giving her props. She was like, Portia's come a long way.
Like, I just hope she stays safe. But she is out there absolutely doing...
You can't forget to mention whenever Marlo showed up, she was like temperature reading everyone's forehead.
Ruler, 6 feet, stay back. This is not 6 feet, scoot back. This is 5.5 feet, scoot back 6
Very
feet.
Marlo fashion.
Yeah.
Like,
even though we know they've all had like COVID tests to be on the show. Like, they're talking about how they just all tested negative.
Yeah, did you notice that when they did have like group scenes like that, they're like, we did get COVID tested to do this.
It was like to avoid hatred and lawsuits. We have all had tests before filming.
Yeah, they kind of just like threw that in there as like a disclaimer.
Portia, she heads to Louisville. It shows her headed there. She's like, I don't know where we're going to be marching to, but I know that we're going to be marching in honor of Breonna Taylor. Don't know our final destination, so I'm just putting that out there because it rounds back to it at the end. She doesn't know where they're going. Mm-hmm. And then it shows Candy and Riley are out there with Todd, washing. I just said it, didn't I?
You said washing.
I said washing the car.
She was washing her Porsche.
Washing the car.
Yeah, little Riley has a Porsche.
Little Riley is not little Riley anymore.
That's true.
She's about to go away to New York to go to law school. I feel like we've been watching Riley literally since she was, because this is the 13th season.
She was so young.
She was, God, if she's 18 now, she was like, what, 6, 7? Whenever. Last time, because this is 13, I mean, it's just crazy to see that.
But can we go back to Riley being a lawyer? Do you see her being a lawyer?
I can totally see her being a lawyer.
But, like, don't you have to be, like, outspoken and, like, loud? She's so quiet and neat.
She's gonna be one of those that's, like, silent but deadly.
Ooh, there you go. Okay.
I feel like she's definitely one of those.
Yeah, because I definitely believe she's smart. And
maybe she could go back after her dad for owing $100,000.
Oh, I wonder
and
if
child
that's what
support.
Maybe
that's the motivation.
Oh, my God, Cassidy, you just solved the riddle. Not even riddle, but why Riley is going to law school.
I mean, because especially Candy's filed the paperwork with the court now. And the fact that Block, which is Riley's dad, is coming back and being like, you're acting like a broke bitch for coming after this money. And she's like, no, you're driving around in a Rolls Royce. Like, you're out there doing
making millions, she said. She made millions.
Well, he claims he's making millions. So if he's making millions, he should easily be able to turn around and pay money for his daughter. Whenever he sat there, and I specifically remember a couple seasons ago when he called and he'd never spent time with Riley, and he was calling and saying, oh, I'm actually at the hospital right now because I'm having another child. Oh, the king is here. The king is being born. Like, how messed up is that? I can't imagine that. To talk to your kid like that whenever you've never been in her life ever.
And like $100,000 is a lot. That's about the money that they said he owes.
Yeah.
But if he's driving around Rolls Royces and millions, it should be nothing.
That's $100,000 car right there. Sell your car and pay your kid.
Do you think Riley will intern with Phaedra Parks Esquire?
Oh!
to go to that law school, move back to Atlanta, and be Phaedra's intern.
Oh my god. If that's how we get Phaedra back on the show, then I am very much here for
Wasn't
it.
Phaedra an entertainment lawyer?
She was 100% entertainment
They're going
lawyer.
after Block.
Ooh. I mean, if Block's an entertainer, then it makes sense.
There you go.
But then we go to Cynthia is hanging out with Mike and they're talking about their wedding. And I have a lot of thoughts on this. I feel like on Twitter, so many people are sitting there saying, okay, all Mike wants to do is marry Cynthia. Like, why is she so obsessed with having this perfect wedding, this perfect date? I feel like Mike is being such, like, an opportunist with this. He's being way too hardcore. Like, no, we're going to get married on this day. I just want to marry you. And I feel like there's a way, it just doesn't seem genuine to me.
Last season, whenever they first started dating, and he kept mentioning his book, I automatically was kind of like, okay, this is a little off to me. So he still hasn't sold me on the fact that he really wants to be married to Cynthia.
Exactly. It just seems like an opportunity, and I feel like he's taking whatever chance he can get, because there's literally a scene when he's driving in his car and he like flips off the camera. I just feel like he's kind of doing the most for the camera a lot of the time.
I mean, he's playing up to it.
Like, they're even talking about their sex life, and I was like, ugh. Like, I do not, there's like, I don't want to hear about anyone's sex life. But whenever he's talking about, she sounds like a muffled car whenever like she has to be quiet with the kids in the house. I just about passed out.
And that's when Cynthia gets so like weird to me. It's like when she's in a relationship, she will talk like that and be like, oh yeah.
But that's what, like,
yeah.
Cynthia.
But I don't feel like she's like that normally.
She's not. She's like, I just feel like Cynthia's always this, like, gorgeous, like, woman. But like something about her, like, when she tries to be sexy is so awkward.
Because I don't think she like is that person.
No.
Normally, but a guy kind of gets
she
her.
Tries to put it
she
on
thinks the
for
guy
him.
wants that.
Yeah.
So it's uncomfortable for her.
Maybe
so that's
the
why it
guy
gets
wants
uncomfortable
it,
for us.
but the viewers do not want it.
Not
Everyone's
at all.
like, oh, it's very awkward. Sorry, I probably should have mentioned that right before that. Kenya has Cynthia and Candy over to look at her pool.
Oh, yeah.
And she's saying, Mark never wanted a pool, so I'm doing it now. And they go upstairs and she's saying, like, I'm kind of like going forward with the divorce, so we're going to see what happens. And Cynthia says, I never liked the way he spoke to you in the first place. Like, he never treated you right, in my opinion.
Well, it's another relationship that I think she rushed into.
It was very
I'm
quick.
not saying it was like a fake or anything like that, but I think it was quick because she always was talking about she wanted a man, she wanted a baby. Well, she made it happen.
She always longed for a family, and it kind of feels like she got into, and like, obviously very happy for that. She has a beautiful daughter.
Yeah.
But the guy just doesn't seem like he is that nice to her, which isn't cool.
No.
Then we end the episode with Portia getting arrested because they ended up, which she didn't know where they were headed on the march. They ended up at the Attorney General house in Kentucky, and because he was the only one that had the power to arrest the cops who murdered Breonna Taylor.
Yeah.
And she goes to jail. It says she's in there for 13 hours. And I thought it was so powerful whenever she got out and it cut to her confessional. And they said, what's your biggest takeaway from all of this? And she says that I'd do it again.
Yeah.
Like,
no doubt. She didn't even hesitate. That was her
not
response.
even a hesitation,
Nope.
which was incredible. And I think, once again, that's showing just how dedicated that Portia really,
props
truly
to
is.
Portia.
It wasn't for the cameras. It wasn't for attention. She did it because this is something that she truly is fighting for. And it's incredible to see.
Yeah.
Cheers to Atlanta. It is back.
It is back.
Our
I'm
peaches
excited.
are back and we love it.
Next, we're going to move on to the finale of Real Housewives of Potomac.
I know.
I can't believe we're at the finale.
I mean, this season was chef's
A+.
kiss.
So we're going to give a season an A+. Potomac is getting it hands down.
It even kicked off with Wendy at like dinner with Eddie, and they cheers to a tequila shot, and she like takes a sip, and then she goes, that was disgusting. And I was like, relatable. Like, I feel like Wendy came through the last few episodes and we're like, we really like her.
A lot of people aren't liking Wendy.
I know a lot of people haven't in the beginning, but I feel like these last few, she's had a few relatable moments. Like the Wendy's story about how her dad named her after Wendy's. I mean, not that that's like relatable, but you get what I'm saying.
But it was like a personal
moment. But like, you were named after
enjoyed.
Chase Banks, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I get some of the cut, right?
I don't think he was. And then
the amount of times people have come up to me and said, like, Chase Bank, right?
And you said, no, I was just born in the parking lot of a Chase Bank.
How'd you know?
How did I know?
I actually do know what I was named after. It was just, like, my mom's favorite, like, character in a book. And
what
she was
book?
Like, I don't remember. I will have to find that out.
Yeah,
but
you'll have to
it
find
was her
out.
favorite character in a book. And she was like, I'm going to name him Chase.
And I'm pretty sure that I was named Cassidy because of, like, there was, like, a soap show or something.
What?
And my mom, like, picked it and she loved the name. And then she got so mad because Kathy Lee Gifford had a baby and named her Cassidy too. And then people kept being like, oh, did you name her Cassidy after Kathy Lee Gifford? And my mom was like, no, I had that name picked out way before, and got really mad.
But I like that you were named after a soap star, because like reality soaps, they're kind of like the sameish
fitting,
vibe.
right?
So like you were meant to be obsessed with the Housewives.
I'm like 99% sure that story's true.
We're not fact checking.
I will circle back and confirm that it was actually on a soap show. I might come back with a very different story, but I'm 99% sure.
I feel like if it's not as good, just don't remind us.
I mean,
and I want to live on to think that you're named after a soap star.
I'll circle back, but back to Potomac.
It is Christmas time in Potomac. We're ending Potomac with Christmas
yeah,
time.
Robin says she's doing her annual like winter party. Yeah. You know, it's crazy that while you're on a payment plan with the IRS, you can also throw a huge party with an open bar with a man that looks like Jon Snow. Did you notice the party planner? He was hot.
No, but I did notice when she yelled twice that it was an open bar. She's like,
open bar. We're paying for an open bar. Was that shade at Candace? Because didn't Kansas have like did I say Kansas? Didn't Candace have an open a cash bar at her wedding?
It was
like at a party.
Her party. Yeah, she had a party. I think it was her like anniversary party. It was a closed bar or a cash bar. Shady. But also
not a closed bar. It's like she got those Bravo bills. We're paying for this party. You already know they were, so and she kept making a point to say it. Like if it's a cash bar, can I just like BYOB? Can I bring my own rosé to this party? Like I'm not trying to do that. But then it cuts to Giselle, and she's having her interview, and she's like, oh, we're talking about like how because Juan's gonna propose, and I felt like it was supposed to be like hush hush that Juan was gonna propose, but I swear to God, Giselle told everyone from the North Coast to the North Coast, the North to the East Coast to the West Coast to the South, like she was telling everyone.
Thanks for the geography lesson over here.
Thank you. It's what I do. I know that you struggle with directions, so never eat soggy waffles.
Yeah, I'll go to the North Coast on my next vacation.
Head to the North Coast. I hate you. Bye. But yeah, she's like calling Juan and talking to him about it, and he's like, yes, I'm gonna do it at the party whenever the time's right. Like I will pick a moment and do it. But do you not feel like Giselle kept talking about it? Like
yeah, but I blame Juan for telling Giselle.
Yeah, but like he wouldn't help with the ring, because I don't think that Juan would have known what to have gotten. And I feel like we don't talk about this enough, just how hot Juan is.
I would talk about it
like he constantly. Is like the hottest. Like people love to stand Mauricio Mansky, and I'm not saying he's ugly, but Juan is like
I would say the hottest house husband.
100, like hands down.
Like I will say that, and I'll stand by it forever.
I feel like it's because not enough people watch Potomac, and like it's ridiculous because it's one of the best housewives, and that's why Juan is starting to though.
I think I will actually say this last episode, the finale, I think it got like over 1 million something.
But did you see how some people responded to that on Twitter? They were like, "Oh, it's because Atlanta led into it."
Oh, stop.
Yeah, bye. And like I think someone responded was like, "No, it's because of the women on the show," and started naming all the women.
Ooh.
The women. That's why.
There you go.
But then it shows Monique going to therapy, and she's talking about how she's feeling really alienated from the group, and I feel like it was a real breakthrough for her because she's saying, you know, I grew up and I went to a white school and I was too black, and then I switched to a black school and they felt like I was too white because I had been at this white school. So she's really, it's such a deep-rooted thing with Monique, and I love Monique because I do think she's genuinely a good person.
Yeah, and they mentioned the Candace thing and how she was sorry, stuff like that, but I do think she ruins that at the end.
Yeah.
she has a breakthrough here with the Candace stuff.
But does she ruin it?
She doesn't ruin it.
I don't think she ruins it.
We'll get back to it, but it comes back. God, and then we have a scene with Ashley and Michael. There's not much I have to say about this. Michael is just repulsive. He's so weird. I don't get it. I don't get why Ashley's with him.
Well, why did I mean, she's getting money. That's why she's with him.
Okay, but there is only a certain amount of money. Or a certain point,
I don't
the money's
think he's
worth
rich
it.
enough for me.
Well, that
to deal with that. That's all I'm saying.
The money at the beginning may have been nice.
Yeah.
But it's not the beginning anymore.
It was crazy whenever they were doing Baby Dean's 5-month photo shoot, and he like laid down next to Baby Dean, and I was like, this is what like my sleep paralysis demon is at night. Whenever he laid down, he was like,
I actually thought that was like the only cute thing that's like ever happened with Michael.
Okay, cool. So we'll just have very different views. I'm gonna send it to you every night before you go to sleep and tell me it doesn't haunt you in your dreams.
Not the Jill Zarin meme.
No, yes, like the Jill Zarin meme. There is a Jill Zarin meme that we'll also post on our Instagram that you guys have to go see because it is the funniest thing on the planet. It involves Faith Hill. That's all you need to know.
And I have trouble sleeping after she sends it to me.
It's iconic. Ashley mentions to Michael during the scene, though, that Juan is going to propose at the holiday party that she's having. And Michael's just like, get out of here. It's not possible. I know that this will not happen.
What is this boys club that Juan and Michael apparently have?
But
According to Michael.
I'm about to say, this is a very one-person boys club that Michael thinks he's like BFFs with Juan. I'm sure Juan has a lot of friends. And the fact that he's sitting there and he says like, oh, well, I definitely know this could never happen. And Ashley's just like, why? And he's kind of like, I just know.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you.
And she doesn't pry it open like a freaking oyster. I would be like, no, you're going to tell me right now. I am not letting this go. But she lets it go. Then we go to Juan and Robin at therapy. And they're just kind of talking about how...
Actually, right before that, there's just one little kind of like foreshadowing scene.
Not a foreshadowing scene.
Candace goes with her mom, who hit her in the head with a purse, to get their nails done. And Candace just puts in there that she used to think Karen was a second mother. Just gonna put that out there.
Okay.
Comes back to it, but that was
to black out
a foreshadowing.
scenes with Candace.
Yeah, I mean it was like a very irrelevant scene except for that line.
Okay.
So I think we should just get into the meat of the episode. It's the Winter Wonderland party. That didn't really have that much Winter Wonderland in it.
I feel like Bravo spent all of the money on the open bar. They're like, we're going to give you absolutely nothing for decorations. I hope y'all bring it in the fashion department because it is not happening.
Just call it a Winter Wonderland party.
Which, speaking of, who was your favorite? Like, who was your best dressed?
I liked Robin.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was a big fan, and I really stopped and looked at her outfit whenever she said, my shoes are killing me. Wendy's all white with her Chanel little cap was... giving me everything.
Who was your least favorite?
I mean, who do you think?
Ashley.
Yeah, Ashley was not very... I was going to say Giselle, but yeah, because I feel like it's like constant
I feel like
to say
Giselle's just like, okay,
it was okay.
always. Cause, like,
that's
Giselle
why like I was like, I don't have to
always...
think Giselle. Oh wait, no, Giselle was actually okay this episode.
Yeah, no, it was Ashley.
Yeah.
It was like weird. She had like, the top was okay, then it was like, the bottom was just like a feather mini
skirt.
skirt.
Yeah. It was like a tiny little skimpy dress
weird.
that definitely looked way too cold out to be wearing that.
At the beginning of the party, it's kind of like going right back into Karen set up Candace and Monique fight.
Mm-hmm.
Karen's not there because apparently her plane got delayed. Do you think her plane actually got delayed?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think so. And I would hope like you wouldn't mess around and lie about engines being out because I feel like that's such bad karma.
I feel like it could have been half truth.
Yeah.
It
had like a little bit of
her.
a problem. Yeah. She was like, I switched my flights around. I went through North Carolina, did all these things.
Yeah. So I think it was like a kind of a fake delayed where it was like she may have actually been delayed, but she could have been in the party on time.
Yeah.
But Karen can't miss the finale party.
La Grande Dame wanted to make a La Grande entrance.
She did, but ultimately you can't miss the party.
That's true.
Like, it's the finale party.
But at the party, Michael asks Juan if it's a special night, and he's like, no, it's not a special night, it's just a normal party, which I don't know what Michael expected. He was going to turn around and be like, yeah, I'm going to propose to Robin. Like, I don't know what he thought he was going to get out of that conversation.
Michael's just being weird, like he always is.
Michael's being a total creep. You can tell Michael starts, at this moment, and I feel like it's relevant to say, he is definitely starting to pound the alcohol.
Oh, yeah. I think Ashley's even saying, like, hey, like, no liquor tonight, and he, like, pulls Juan aside. He's like, let's do a tequila shot, let's do a tequila shot. So he's liquoring up, and he starts to spiral,
right?
And we see that. He even like goes, I think it's up to Wendy's husband, and he's like, "Oh, you're a really good-looking man,
yeah,
but that doesn't make me gay. Don't assume I'm gay." And I'm like, "What are you doing?"
He was hitting on Sharice's boyfriend that he.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Either way, he was like being such a creep and like hitting on guys, and they'd be like, "I'm not gay." It's like, okay.
And then finally at this party, happens. Juan proposes to Robin. Yeah. He gives a beautiful speech. He gets down on one knee, proposes. And, like, I love that everyone around them, especially Wendy, you would have thought that she just got proposed to.
I know, she was, like,
out. Running into the camera. Ah! Giselle even pushed her back and was like, get away. Like, this is not your proposal. This is not your moment. But you could tell it flashes to... very shady editing once again. It flashes to Michael in the crowd just, like walking by, like, not looking happy, headed straight back to the bar that Juan actually proposed.
I swear he's in the background of every shot of this party, just, like, lurking, like,
I really feel like it was, like, a Real
like,
House Husbands of Potomac episode.
He was just, like, in the background the entire time.
Oh,
It was crazy. So after, like, the huge proposal, Karen does show up.
Uh-huh.
And they jump right into the opportunity of calling her out. Like, she doesn't even, like, walk barely in the door.
They never waste an opportunity to attack Karen at any point.
And Karen's just like, no.
Yeah. She was like, I did not tell you to come early to the party, to the wig shift party last week, Candace. That's not what happened. And once again, like we already knew, producers had made it a very specific point that they could not, her and Monique could not have filmed together no matter what. So it never was a real possibility. And you can tell that these girls are definitely really reaching for this storyline.
And Karen has, like, kind of a half, like, reason. Like, she's like, well, I did tell you to come early, but it was never gonna, y'all were never gonna run into each other. And that goes to your point where, like, we find out later, just from outside stuff, that production was never gonna let it happen.
Exactly.
But Karen even says, like, I wasn't gonna do it. And you kind of even see, like, in the last episode, I'll say, that Karen was a little uncomfortable. She's like, Monique, is your car here? Your car here? So you could see she was, like, kind of pushing her out the door.
Candace is being really annoying per usual. And she's sitting there saying, like, how could you even... She's talking to Karen. She's saying, you know, I saw you as a second mom. How could you even sit here and defend Monique for 2 seconds? Once again, she's on the spiel that she's been doing the entire time. And you can tell Karen is just not having it. But Candace is getting really worked up, and she's getting louder and louder, kind of yelling at Karen.
Of course she is.
And that's whenever Michael Darby chooses to get involved and goes over to Chris, Candace's husband, and is like, control your wife. Go control your wife. And that's when Chris turns around and says, you need to back up.
Mind you, shows no restraint. I will say that. Chris shows no restraint.
No, he automatically turns around. His first thing that he thinks to do is to grab Michael kind of by the chest.
Yeah, like push him.
Not hurting him, but still grab him by the chest and push him backwards. Like through a room. Like the crowd spread like parted the Red Sea. Pushed him straight across the room.
And what does Michael say?
I'm filing suit against your man, which is my favorite.
I'm calling my lawyer.
I'm calling my lawyer. You're going to jail.
You're going to jail, mate.
And obviously that distracts all the wives that are having this argument right now. And they get up and Ashley runs over to Michael and asks what happens. And Michael says, whatever his name is, Chris, with the unsuccessful restaurant. Like, I love that Michael throws in shade. I know, right? Like,
Oz? Anyone remember Oz?
Like, no, Oz went well.
Yeah.
Sorry for your kangaroo meat that they probably are still eating on. She goes over to him, and he's yelling about Candace's husband, Chris. And Chris turns around. Candace runs over to him. And Michael immediately gets Ashley really worked up. Because Ashley... turns around, sprints over to start yelling at Candace and Chris to say, oh, you want to say Monique doesn't have any restraint. Yeah. But what do you have? Which
is so true.
Freeze frame. I want to zoom into Candace and be like, you're probably wondering how I got in this situation. It's like, yet again. But I love that her reaction to whenever Michael's getting all worked up, her reaction is to say, oh, you want to hit me, Michael? No one ever said that they want to hit you.
Michael was just like, I mean, Ashley was actually yelling. Michael was behind her. So, they were walking towards, but there was no threat to Candace.
Not at all. But I love that that's Candace's, for someone who's actually gotten dragged at this point, that her first reaction is to turn around and say, do you want to hit me? Like, no, nobody was trying to hit you. Well, I feel like
she knows she's on camera. She knows her husband was probably wrong. Yeah. She's like, oh, let's turn it back on them.
Let's flip it back around.
Because she already has her own pending case.
Because that's worked out so well for her.
Yeah. So they just, like, you do
Michael screaming, I'm filing suit against your man. You're going to jail. And you can tell Michael is off his tits at this point.
Yeah, security pulls him away. Candace
Chris gets kicked out.
Yeah, they actually leave. I don't know if they get kicked out, but they leave.
Security comes up because they're talking to Michael, and like security's with him, and he says, "What about Chris and Candace?" And they take him out. So I think he was kind of
so they exit. So that part one of the fight.
Part one, but then we get their chirons. Yeah, and Karen, their chirons. That's Chase's favorite word. A chiron, you know, the little thing at the end, which I did not know. Whenever it gives you updates, but Karen and Ray leave, and it shows that Ray wants to move to Florida. Karen's not having it.
La Dom Installment 2 is coming out.
La Dom Installment 2. Chris and Candace are going to try for a baby. And then it cuts into, like you say, part 2.
Part 2. So, back to those tequila shots we remember that Michael was taking that Ashley knew he shouldn't be taking. Well, it all is starting to hit him. I mean, it already was, but it's really hitting him now. And he walks into the production area for some reason and is, like, spouting out stuff. Like, I guess they're trying to take off his mic. I don't really know. Being a drunk fool. And they're like, hey, sir, don't be back here. Yeah. You need to leave. He's like, I can be back here. You can't tell me where to be. And gets in a fight with production / security guards for the club. And he gets in the security guard's face and then he like pushes him through a door trying to fight him. They go off camera. And you hear Ashley screaming at him. Yeah. Screaming at him like, go fuck yourself. Stop. Yeah. All of this stuff. Pulling him off.
If I acted like this, like you would be livid.
Yeah, and it's insane. He's out of control.
So naturally,
nothing happened.
We get a chiron right after that because they leave the party. And what does Ashley decide to do? Go to the Bahamas and get pregnant with baby number 2.
The next day.
The next day. The next day. Obviously, she gets pregnant a little later, but they take off to the Bahamas the next day. Yeah. Say they're better than ever. I'm like, the delusion. Insane. Maybe she's just trying to get 2 babies by him before she leaves.
I mean, she's pregnant with number 2.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe she's just trying to have those and then leave. But it is, honestly.
Yeah. But we do get
insane.
the Chiron for Robin and Juan. And I literally want to like print out that photo for them and send it to them. It's the best one.
Oh,
you know,
it was gorgeous.
They usually give them the shittiest photos
Yeah.
for those. Robin and Juan's was so good.
Maybe it's because they got engaged. Producers like, we'll be nice to them. Even, or maybe they're just like actually the most gorgeous couple.
They
That's
are.
why like they're stunning.
They actually really are.
Yeah.
But that was Potomac.
No.
Wait,
we're
what?
not cutting. Are you kidding me? We get an update. It cuts to Monique. And Monique is sitting in her confessional. And they're like, so the producers ask her, so what's going on with your case right now with Ashley? She says, well, the courts looked at the footage, everything that Bravo had, every word of mouth witness that was there. And they decided that this was not an attack by me. This was a mutual fight. And everything's being dropped and it's done.
And the producer's like, do you regret
the
fight?
And she says, I regret the fight. I don't regret defending myself.
Yeah.
Which
and
I think
but
is...
like cackles very like...
And then she
menacingly.
And then it does like a like rolls it back and makes like a deeper laugh and shows her Chiron and...
Yeah.
You know, she's doing a potty training book and it says maybe she's going to do one for pets too. There's no word yet. But it cuts to Candace and Candace says automatically, she's like... you know, they decided because of all of the trash that Monique's lawyers were spewing and all the falsities they were claiming.
The reality TV drama.
Yeah, the reality TV drama. And I love that she calls Monique's lawyers trash for literally doing their job and getting their client out of...
They countersued as they should have and
exactly.
won. Well,
what
not
happened?
won, but
there
lost
should have
it.
never been anything filed on either part.
No.
And that's just the reality
That's
of it. But yeah, I think that it is...
a nice, insane... cherry on top of an A+ season of Potomac.
Great finale, and I am very much looking forward to the reunion next week.
Yeah, me too. We had a full week.
We had a full, Atlanta back,
exciting
Potomac, Salt Lake. We had a lot this week.
Yeah, so for the next couple weeks, I think 3 weeks, we're going to have the Potomac reunion, which we'll be covering.
Uh-huh.
We'll start with Atlanta.
Salt Lake.
Yeah, Salt Lake.
Maybe a few other things sprinkled in, and then we get Dallas back the first week of January.
Yeah, I'm so excited. We have a lot coming up.
I'm really excited too.
All right.
Well, that was a great,
Yeah, it was.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye, guys.
And listening.